possible to make it on YouTube, or is it too late?
Well, yes and no. I'm launching a new show.
This is like a rocket ship. You'll be at 10 million subs in no time.
Tens of thousands of young people commenting on these videos.
I don't know many other YouTube creators who are going to go to those lengths.
Our whole budget is a team of 4 people.
I looked at that and I was like, what the hell does that mean?
I remember thinking this is going to bomb.
That video was a bit of a stretch. The actual checklist before greenlighting a story involves 3 things.
In reality, you're making a TV show. My question is, if that offer came to you, would you take that deal? Today on the Colin and Samir Show, we're joined by Cleo Abram.
Cleo is a former Vox journalist that left to go independent on YouTube and make her show Huge If True, which is an optimistic show about technology and the future.
Over the past 2.5 years, Cleo's put out 36 videos, and her channel has gained 3.5 million subscribers. She's also collaborated with creators like MKBHD, Simone Yech, Johnny Harris, and she's gotten access to some pretty amazing organizations like CERN, Nike, and Formula One.
In this episode, we watch and break down some of her most viewed shorts and learn how meticulous she is with every single line and every single shot.
We also break down the intro to one of Cleo's most popular videos to get an understanding of how she's hooking millions of people and getting them to care about a topic that's pretty complex. Honestly, I just love every opportunity we get to sit down with Cleo. I leave every conversation with her feeling smarter.
You just feel like you're as smart as she is, which is a nice gift.
Yeah, she just has so much to share. Now, before we get into the episode, I want to show you a first-of-its-kind AI-powered software that's specifically designed for YouTube creators. It comes from the sponsor of this episode, Spotter Studio.
So here's how it works. You can start from scratch, just click Brainstorm, and because it's connected to your YouTube channel, it'll give you a variety of titles based off your top-performing videos, as well as videos in your category. Or you can start by putting in a title for a video idea that you already have, like this one for our studio tour with Dude Perfect. You can continue to workshop titles until you find the ones that you like and save them to your project.
Now, one of the coolest parts is that it helps you brainstorm thumbnails. So these are mockups that you can use for inspiration when you take photos and design your final thumbnail. It gives you composition ideas like this one, where Colin's holding a Nerf gun. It's just an eye-catching element that we wouldn't have thought of otherwise. And you can upload a photo of yourself and other cast members so that the mockups look more like you.
Spotter Studio can also help you brainstorm concepts and story beats for your videos. It's a first-of-its-kind full project management software for you and your team. And it'll help you manage your production process from coming up with ideas all the way to pressing publish. Samir and I and a bunch of other top creators like Dude Perfect and Kaniko Dion helped to develop this software over the past 2 years.
If you're a creator, you should definitely give it a try. The link is in our description. You get 60 days totally free. You can also scan this QR code that's on the screen right now and try Spotter Studio. We definitely think this will up-level your channel, coming up with better ideas that are tailored specifically for you and helping you get those all the way until you press publish. All right, now for our conversation with the incredible Cleo Abram. Cleo Abram, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I mean, you guys know that I listen to basically every episode of this show, so I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I think I'm realizing that you listen to more. Like it's funny because you know people listen and watch the show, but then when you hear someone reflect back to you something from like minute 35 of an obscure episode, you're like, oh wow, you really listen to the show.
Oh yeah, I know all the references. I know all the words that you've made up. I
even had breakfast when Samir said, we have this thing called relative zero.
And I was like,
I appreciate you for stopping him rather than just letting him explain one of our vocab terms.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for watching and thank you for stopping him.
We've spent a lot of time together, but rarely are we recorded. I think only once we've been recorded together. And I've been looking forward to this quite a bit. I think you're one of the most unique cases on YouTube and most unique creators to enter our world and our ecosystem in the past couple of years. I think Colin and I, when we were talking about this conversation, we were like, Cleo has experienced like the fastest pace to achieving the YouTube dream from anyone we've seen. Do you feel that way?
Sometimes yes and sometimes no. Yes, in the sense that I feel so unbelievably excited about the success of Huge If True. There was a feeling of, oh my God, if I make this specific thing, because I launched with a trailer that had a description of the show, there's a vulnerability to saying, I want this thing to exist. Do you also want this thing to exist? And so the fact that there are now millions of people who watch the show is just so deeply gratifying in that way. And at the same time, I mean, we've talked about this, like I feel like it's just barely getting started.
You know, a lot of people ask us the question around YouTube. How do you launch a YouTube channel? What does it mean to be on YouTube? And I think originally in 2011, when we first started on YouTube, YouTube was very much like a YouTube channel was a channel, even using that term in the same way of television, where it's like, oh, a channel can have multiple shows on it. And that's what YouTube was. And YouTube was like more understood as like you launch a YouTube channel and that's your network. And then you can have multiple shows. Even in our first channel, we literally would license shows and we put out like a TV guide schedule that was like Mondays are this show and Wednesdays are this show. And it was all different types of shows. And over time, the maturation of YouTube was like, actually a channel is a show. And a conversation we had with a Hollywood showrunner, he framed it as like week-to-week television, meaning the way we used to watch television, where it was like Wednesdays at 5 is this show. You would watch that. That is what a YouTube channel is now. It's like a way to frame your week. And you launched a show, which is very different from launching a channel. And like your commitment has been to...
Where are the pull-ups?
I'll take care of it if you do bedtime. Ordering with Uber Eats is no longer just about food and meals. It's so simple to order.
I make a show called Huge If True. It has a brand to it. It has an intro animation. Everything is the brand of the show. And I think that respects where we are in the industry today. It also respects IP, but it also has an understanding from a business development perspective of like, I assume you were also building decks around like Vox Explained. And like, here's the brand of the show. Here's the mission of the show. Here's what it stands for. Here's the audience. Here's how you can buy an ad with this show, or here's how you can engage with it from a business perspective. How much of that went into like prior to launching the YouTube channel? Like how much did you think about the difference between a show and a channel or a media company?
A lot. The reason why I left Vox is that I really wanted to make this specific show. Like I loved my job. I loved working at Vox. I loved the kinds of work that we were doing. And I began to have this idea and this feeling that I wanted to start this specific show. And I came to believe that it had to be its own independent YouTube channel. The specific story that I think about as kind of the genesis of this idea, although I think it was a lot of things happening at the same time, was that I was making a YouTube original show called Glad You Asked. And I made an episode about the decision whether to have kids. And it was sort of wide-ranging. It was about fertility. It was about economics. It was about all kinds of different things. And I was really proud of it. And we released it, and it did well. And I was posting little clips of it and like talking about the same topics on TikTok at the time. And I posted a clip, and I started to look at the comments as they were coming in. And I remember the first one that I saw was, oh, this is interesting, but I can't have kids because the world is getting worse. And I clicked on who it was, and it was like some teenage girl account on TikTok. And more comments started coming in. I began to realize that a lot of them were this same tone. And on the one hand, that was unsurprising to me in some ways. Like I am in the same media world as everybody else. Like I watch Black Mirror when I used to watch Star Trek as a kid. Like I know what the tone feels like about the future right now. And on the other hand, it was pretty shocking because there were just this huge, like tens of thousands of young people commenting on these videos saying that they thought the future was getting worse and that there was nothing that they could do about it. And I remember feeling like I had contributed to that somehow. And I don't mean to say that like I had, I was a, young journalist at a media company. Like I don't think that I was